guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about the experience that I had today at the Windows Phone 7 Tech Day in London. And basically in this video I'm going to share what I learned about developing applications and games for the Windows Phone 7 platform. Okay, so first of all, the day consisted of a technical overview by Charlie Kindle. Charlie Kindle is responsible for the developer experience on Windows Phone 7. We then had a Silverlight application session with Mike Tolte, and then the last keynote was from Paul Foster on creating games for Windows Phone with XNA Game Studio 4.0. Okay, so first of all, we learned about Microsoft's new approach to the smartphone space. So we know it's going to be a different approach from the past, and that Microsoft is focused on the end user and consumer experience. So instead of handing over a bunch of components to a hardware manufacturer such as HTC and then letting them modify it, Microsoft will be delivering a general purpose operating system similar to big Windows, where there are lots of drivers included and Microsoft does all the heavy lifting. The idea behind this is to create a more consistent user experience across devices. The hardware will be there'll be really stringent hardware requirements to ensure that the experience is very consistent between devices. So whilst you have different form factors, when you play with a device and use a device, you will know that it is a Windows Phone device. Microsoft has cut down the number of screen resolutions to 2, thus making it easier for developers and once again making a more consistent user experience. Who it is for? Microsoft have said that Windows Phone 7 is for people trying to balance their work and personal lives. So basically it's a phone for people, who want to get the best out of a phone that can perform office-based tasks. So hence you've got the Office Hub and you've got really good Outlook support, but at the same time it's a very social phone, so it connects with Windows Live, Facebook, Twitter, etc. It's been aimed at people older than 30 years old who have or are about to start families. I think that it will be aimed at from the medium to high end of the smartphone market based on the devices that have been leaked and shown so far, because they're all going to have big capacitive screens and a minimum of 5 megapixel camera and that kind of thing. We've also been told that they're very Windows Phone devices, and the Windows Phone experience is very different from the kin phones, which are aimed at young people and not as such a smartphone. We've also been told that Windows Phone and kin are 2 different products aimed at 2 separate markets. Currently there are 2 ways to develop apps and games for Windows Phone 7. Obviously you've got Silverlight for apps. It is also possible to develop games through Silverlight, but the best option for developing 2D sprite games and full 3D games is through XNA. So the tools for developing Windows Phone 7 apps are Microsoft Visual Studio and Expression Blend. All of the tools that you need to develop Windows Phone 7 apps can be downloaded at www.microsoft.com/express and www.developer.windowsphone.com. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on developing applications using Silverlight. However, there will be a follow-up video with developing applications and games using XNA Studio. So, developing with Silverlight. The version of Silverlight found on Windows Phone 7 is a subset of Silverlight 3 with removed features. For example, the in-browser version of Silverlight 3 can interact with components in web pages. Obviously this has been removed as the apps aren't running in a browser. However, there will be some slightly different controls, features and gestures. One thing that has come out from the Tech Day today is that all apps have to be purchased and installed through the marketplace. However, for custom enterprise users, for their in-house business applications, Microsoft has hinted that in future versions of Windows Phone they are thinking of a solution to allow business users to install their enterprise applications for their organization. All of the apps must follow stringent guidelines. The user experience must be consistent with the Windows Phone 7 experience. It must tie in with the brand. The controls, if you look in the submission guidelines, the button controls in particular have to have a minimum distance between each other to ensure that the applications are finger friendly. The apps must work every time. Basically, the apps that are developed using Silverlight are Silverlight navigation apps, so you can use the frame control, and if you developed a Silverlight navigation app, you know what I mean. Obviously, there are two tools that you can use to develop Windows Phone 7 applications: Visual Studio 2010 and Expression Blend. Behaviors from Expression Blend will work. There are different APIs for interacting with phone features such as SMS, email, search, vibration, all that kind of thing. The three buttons on the front of the screen are not for use. You can play around with the back button a little bit, but the general idea is that it will go back. What you can do is use soft buttons in the pane in the bottom of the screen. One very interesting thing that has come out is that you cannot create apps using Visual Basic or native code C++. You can only use managed C# code. Another advantage and feature of developing the Silverlight free subset is that the applications can have 2 GB of storage on the phone. So that's 2 GB of isolated storage that they can play with, which is a lot of storage for phones that could have 8, 16, 32 gig of storage on them. It's a very cloud connected platform, so obviously it ties in with Windows Azure, different cloud connected platforms. And basically, the majority of apps will connect to a web server in some way. So, for example, the games, they can connect to Xbox and that kind of thing. There's also a thing called Windows Phone Notification Service, so you can send notifications to your apps and that kind of thing. Multitasking. Basically, multitasking doesn't exist as such. The apps are paused in their last state, and then when the user relaunches the app, it loads up in the last state, so the user is given the impression of multitasking. This basically saves power, so apps will not run in the background. I'll be producing some more videos soon about developing for Windows Phone and XNA game development on the Windows Phone 7 platform. If you have any questions, just tweet me or comment on YouTube video, and I'll try and answer them, or I'll try and find out from some of the guys who went and spoke at the UK Tech Game.